So, American Chaos, how did it start? Try to make this brief, right? I talk a lot. So, American Chaos was born out of my need, desire, and want to do something different than the Annihilator music. Because Annihilator has basically been my solo project and got to work with a lot of great musicians over the years. But it was always in that sort of category of heavy metal, thrash metal in that area. And I think I wanted to do something during the shutdown. Remember, we had that lockdown stuff. I wanted to do something in that time with my beautiful studio. And while everybody had to isolate and all that, I thought, this might be the right time to finally not have to think about Annihilator, and I could just go ahead and write any kind of music I wanted. And that's what happened. The first record that I did, I sort of shopped it, like traditionally, like you would go to different record company people that you met over the years. And I got the same reaction. It was a fantastic album, amazing players, great production. I think a couple of comments were, sounds like money, sounds like a money production. But they were all correct in that a lot of them said, where would we put this? What would we do with it? And, well, obviously, you and I would initially say, well, you put it for sale and you advertise, promote it, and you do it. But they were correct. This is not the type of music that would be much of an investment for them. They wouldn't put their money, companies wouldn't put their money to risk. Older people who are not that famous, not coming from the biggest bands in the world, and playing music that honestly is not groundbreaking new at all. It's a sort of 80s and 70s, depending on which of the three albums you're hearing. It's just sort of like a best of. I mean, I don't want to call it a B level, but it is. I mean, nothing that I do is going to be as good as Van Halen or AC/DC or the Stones or Kiss or whatever. But most musicians never achieve that anyway. But I wanted to just do stuff that I wanted to do and do it differently than Annihilator, different production, different people. And that was it. I shopped the first one and got literally about 4 companies were willing to sign it as a traditional record deal, but they were a license deal, but they weren't good deals. So, understandably. So I thought, I've got to come up with some other idea. There's got to be an out-of-the-box idea for this, because I don't want to give my record away and have it totally destroyed, not even visible or accessible to anybody that wants to hear or buy it. I want it at least to have a chance. So I thought, and also when real, I think from talking to a lot of other musicians, when real musicians and creators, writers, write something, the best joy that you get out of doing your music is, for most of us, from what I hear, and myself, is right when you finish that song or that record. That's the peak. You can go out on the road, you can get compliments, you can make money, you could travel the world, you can do lots of things as a result of your work. But it really comes down to, for a lot of us, the actual writing is when you get the most pleasure, and recording it and having that CD in your hand. And that's like the peak for most of us. So I just wasn't comfortable. I would rather almost at that point just, I don't know. I was even considering putting it on my website and letting people download it. And then I thought, no, I put a lot of money into it, so I got to get the money back somehow if I can. But yeah, so basically I had to think out of the box. So I thought about, what if I thought of a name of a band? Made a trilogy, 3 albums, maybe 2 or 3 different singers, different musicians, different styles, although still centered around hard rock and slightly heavy metal on some things, but hard rock. 3 album covers. I used the most amazing artist, the one we use for all the Annihilator records. His name's Gyula from Hungary. We've used him for decades. He's amazing. So he did the amazing artwork, and the idea I had was, forget the shopping of it. It was not working out. I can get offers, but they're not going to be worth doing. So I thought, go to a video game company, somebody that was promoting a new video game, whether it's on your phone or on your PC or Mac or whatever, and simply say, I got a band. Here's the trademark, which means, I guess, the logo and the rights to sell merchandise, the rights to anything to do with that band. There's your name, American Chaos. There's your album covers. There's your music. It's your music publishing. I give them the rights to 100% of all of it. Just pay me a check or a bank wire, and I can pay all my guys and girls and costs and all that fun stuff. And if I'm lucky, there's something left over. And they can take the music and do something that they can't do with most bands, which is when a gaming company or a movie company or whoever want to use your music, they have to get permission from quite a few people usually the publisher, the master rights holder, which means the record company that owns the music. Then they have to, a manager might be involved usually. He'll want something. He'll want to get something for the band. The band will want money for it to use their song in a video game or a movie. I thought, thinking out of the box like I try to do, and 9 out of 10 ideas suck, but one idea is usually good. My idea was, what if I offered them the whole package, everything, and 3 albums, and said, it's all yours. Give me one lump sum of money. And I added up all my costs and a little bit more and asked for that. And therefore, they never have to ask any managers, bands, publishers, record companies permission. And most importantly, they don't have to pay all these people tons of money, because when everybody smells money, they think, oh, I want the most I can get. So sometimes these movie or gaming companies negotiate with the artists and they just can't pay that much money and everybody loses. In my case, I said, you can have it all the rights. See you later. I'll help you promote it like I'm doing now. But it's work of my love. I don't know, my life, whatever. However, it's yours. Do what you want with it. Please do it right if you can, but it's not mine anymore. I've let it go after I wrote it and gave it to them. So I talked to 2 companies, but one of the companies, I knew the person a little bit that owned this company, and it was a hardcore hard rock guy who was right into this business and around the same era as I am in. We're basically fans and business people and connected to music. So I found the perfect partner, and he was having a video game developed. And it was about you being a musician and trying to make your way through the game, from, trying to pay for equipment and rentals and vans and putting a band together and all the problems you might have doing that, and trying to work your way up to playing a show and playing a club, playing a hall, and the highs and lows of the musician thing, all done in a fun, simple game kind of environment. And I think it's even, on the phone. It's not even one of these, huge production things. The storyline and the game is amazing, but it's not like the $1 billion budget. However, it's an amazing game, and I was kind of not too concerned with what it was. I knew my music that I was going to give them would go in the game, and I asked them if they need to agree to sell LPs and CDs and iTunes, Spotify, and all that fun stuff. And we did the deal. I'd already written a 2nd record at that point, and then after the deal was signed, I did a 3rd record. I'll tell you more about it in another video about the actual music and the people involved and that kind of stuff, and the music songs. But that was it. I had told the guy that runs the game company, I said, listen, I've got 2 albums done. Why don't we make it a trilogy, and I'll do a 3rd one? He goes, that's perfect, because the game won't be out until 2024. So that's it. I had time, and I did the 3rd record, and now we have the American Chaos Trilogy. And it's essentially my solo records. They're all different. They've got a few different singers on them, different well-known backup singers, and fantastic drummers. It's just really cool. Even my stepdaughter, Ruby, is singing on some of it. Actually, she and my trusted studio keyboard piano player, Bob Katsionis from Greece, who was also with Firewind at one point, and a few other bands, and has a studio. He and my stepdaughter are the only two people that were on all three records, so that's kind of cool. And I'll talk to you more about it later, but essentially that's how it goes. It's not a traditional record deal. It was out of the box thing. It's in this badass game. The game is called Rock Commander, of course. So check that out. And yeah, I'll get more onto the music and the personnel and the song stuff and all that on the next one. This has been 10 freaking minutes anyway. So I hope you like it. It's pretty cool. And again, like I'm going to keep saying this, even though a few people probably don't want me to say this. The cool thing about this American Chaos project, the 3 albums, is it's almost Annihilator in the sense, besides it's my project, but in the sense that you might like one Annihilator CD and you might not like the next one or the next singer or the next mix or production or guitar sound or songwriting. But then you always come back and check out the one after that to see if you'll like that. So we have fans of Annihilator that might like the first 2 albums, then the 4th, and then the 8th, and then the 12th, and so on. And I think American Chaos might be similar where, because each one's a little different, especially with singers and drummers and things, you may like one, not so much the next, and you may love the other one, you know? So anyway, I have a personal preference. I'll tell you about that later in the year, but of which one's the best. But right now, number 1's coming out. Okay? Armageddon Boogie by American Chaos. Hope you like it. Come back for more.